Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We're doing the Panchadasi, 11th chapter of now discussing about the nature of sleep, what happens in the sleep. This is essentially the Prana Annamaya Kosha folds into the Pranamaya folds into the Vijnanamaya, Manomaya folds into Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya means intellectual sheath, and the Annamaya is the gross physical body at the gross level, and next level is the pranas, the physiological functions, and then the Manomaya, the mind, emotional center, then the intellectual, the buddhi, and that is the highest one, and in the sleep is the buddhi from out the external extrovertedness to becomes introverted as I am going to sleep. Because I don't want any world, I don't want this problem, I don't want that problem. So I am withdrawing my mind from all the external activities. And even the physical pain I am withdrawing. And that's why people take medicines only, because to withdraw my awareness of the physical pain by the intellect, I want to withdraw, and hopefully the medicines will make me to forget the physical pain so that I can go introvert, inwards. That's the whole idea of taking sleeping pills and all that. So it is a withdrawal of the mind, of the buddhi, from the physical and at the physiological and at the emotional levels, and at the intellectual level also I am withdrawing. So I am a physics problem or a math problem or this problem. And I used to have a professor, a very great mathematician, and he used to say, I was solving the problems in my sleep. So how do you solve the problems in your sleep? So obviously you cannot solve the problem in sleep. What happening is, he has that constant awareness of the thought on the math problem as he withdraws the mind, and when he becomes introverted into thinking of that and that problem alone, and suddenly a solution strikes there, and that's what he considers as solving a problem in the sleep state. But even that has to be folded, and when the last thought, everything extroverted as well as the internal and external perceptions have been folded, and I become a calm and quiet, that state is essentially folding of the intellect. And what is there? It is absence of subject-object duality starts from there, and from then on that continues. That becomes the last thought. Last thought of what? Last thought of the closing of the subject-object relationship at that intellect level, and that's called last thinking. And from then on, the same absence of subject-object duality continues throughout the sleep, and therefore that is akhandam, without broken, where there is no more subject-object duality. That means I am not conscious of anything, therefore no knowledge of anything. Therefore I can say, what is there in the deep sleep state? I have no knowledge of anything. That's called ajnanam. So ajnanam of what? Ajnanam of Tula Vidya. That means ajnanam of the objective knowledge, because there is no subject-object relationship. How about ajnanam of the Mula Vidya? If my mind doesn't know that I am Brahman, that is Mula Avidya is still there, and when I go to sleep, that avidya will remain as avidya only. So I don't become suddenly a knowledgeable person just because I am enjoying the Brahmananda, because I have no knowledge of that. This is all going to be discussed in the next few slokas. And therefore, one who is ignorant of the Mula, ignorant of his own self, that is when he has ignorance of Mula Vidya is there, that still remains, Therefore, Ajnani will sleep as Ajnani. So, Ajnani of Mula Vidya. So, Jnani of Tula Vidya also will sleep as Ajnani only because there is no subject-object relationship. What about Jnani? Jnani who knows that Aham Brahmasmi, who knows that? Who is that knows? It is the mind again. That's why it shows that a Jnani, when it folds itself, even that knowledge is folded, that Aham Brahmasmi. Only Brahmasmi is there, that Aham Brahmasmi is not there, that knowledge is not there. Therefore, he sleeps as that knowledge is also covered because there is no subject object, and including subject as Aham Brahmasmi is also not there. Therefore, that a Jnani will sleep as there as a Tula Vidya only. He may be knowing, the mind knows that he is a Brahman, but that is also not expressed in terms of knowledge wise, and that's what is going to be talked about in the 66. Ajnana Vrittayaha Sukshma, Ajnana Vrittayaha Sukshma, Vispashta Buddhi Vrittayaha, Vispashta Buddhi Vrittayaha, Iti Vedanta Siddhanta, Iti Vedanta Siddhanta, Paragaha Pravadantihi, Paragaha Pravadantihi, Vedanta Siddhanta Paragaha, means who knows the Vedanta. So, Pravadanti, they say this statement. So, Ajnana Vrittaya, what do they say? Ajnana Vrittayaha Sukshma. So, Ajnana Vrittaya, the Vritti of Ajnana. What is Vritti of Ajnana? It's thoughts of ignorance. So, Vritti, it should not be translated here as a thought here. Vritti is a modification of the mind, is called Vritti. So here the modification that reveals the Ajnanam, that means no subject-object duality, it's modified where it's closing the shop. A closed shop is here, is the Vritti, and that is essentially the ignorance thought is how they translated. So it is a Vritti, Vrittayaha, it is constant awareness of the absence of subject-object duality. That awareness is being illumined by the consciousness, therefore I become aware of. So there is a Chidabhasa illumining the absence of the subject-object duality. So that itself is, suppose I don't know chemistry. So you ask me, do you know chemistry? So he says, now I know that there is some subject called chemistry, but that I don't know. What do I say? I don't know chemistry. I know physics and all that. So my knowledge, my ignorance of chemistry is being expressed, but I don't know means what is illumined there. Illumined is only a thought that I don't know chemistry, but what exactly chemistry I don't know either. So it is what I don't know is constant awareness of the absence of chemistry is there, but that I don't know chemistry is being illumined. That I know. I know that I don't know. That is being illumined. Whereas in the deep sleep state, even that is folded, that I don't know that I don't know also during the deep sleep state. So there is no knowledge of the ignorance of myself in the deep sleep state. Only a waker will say that I did not know anything. Not during the time, he cannot say that I don't know. So one has to be careful here. So Ajnana Vrittayaha Sukshma. So this Ajnana Vrittaya is the ignorance of the Vritti is called Sukshma, is very subtle, means it's not like regular thoughts. And Buddhi Vrittayaha, the thoughts about the Buddhi in the waking state and the dream state are more grosser compared to this one. It means it is none of that perturbations, it's a different perturbation. So that's why he's trying to say Sukshma, subtle. So the subtle knowledge of the absence of the subject-object duality, that's all is called Vritti. So Sukshma, Buddhi Vrittayaha, Vispashtaha, whereas the other thoughts are crystal clear, where I know, I don't know, I know this is a chair, I don't know this is not, this is, I don't see the chair, all these are very crystal clear, therefore they are called Vispashtaha, they are distinct. Iti Vedanta Paragaha. This what people who have studied Vedanta say. So this is not my statement. Vidyaranya says this is what I am quoting from the statements of the people who have studied Vedanta thoroughly, have reported this. So we always refer to someone else. So this is what Einstein quotes this. Then we listen to that as though that is a right thing. Same way the scripture says so. Therefore, scripture, the one who studied the scripture says so. So not directly he is not reporting scriptures, but he is reporting the reporters who have studied the scriptures and reporting. So iti Vedanta Siddhanta Paragaha Pravadantihi. Indeed, they declare that it is very subtle perturbation in the deep sleep state. Go to 67. Mandukyatapani adi Shrutisve tadatisputam Anandamaya bhoktrutvam Brahmanande ja bhogyata together. Mandukyatapani adi Shrutisve tadatisputam Anandamaya bhoktrutvam Brahmanande ja bhogyata. So in the Mandukya and Tapaniya Upanishad, Mandukya, Tapaniya, Adi, etc. So this, where is the Brahman, all this in the stated? It says you go to Mandukya Upanishad, or it's also stated in the Tapaniya Upanishad, etc. So we took Mandukya Upanishad, the audio talk series are available, both Mandukya and also Mandukya Karikas of the Gaudapada. We have done that, and they are available in the audio format in the, if you go to Chinmaya DC, www.chinmayadc.org, and look under Acharyas, under Acharyas Saranda, there you can find the talks on the Mandukya also. So Mandukya Tapaniya Adi, in the Mandukya and Tapaniya Upanishad, etad, this etad apispushtam, this etad atispushtam is clearly stated. Iti atispushtam is clearly stated in the Mandukya Upanishad and Tapaniya Upanishad. Anandamaya bhoktrutvam. Anandamaya is to be experiencer, is a bhoktra of Brahman. Cha Brahmanande, bliss of the Brahman, bhogyata is experience. So it's stated there that who experiences the Anandamaya, Brahmananda, it is, instrument is required, but instrument doesn't have the Triputi type where I am a subject and this is an object. That experience, Triputi is not there, but experience is being recognized by what? By Anandamaya Kosha. So Anandamaya Kosha is the experiencer of the Brahmananda. That means absence of subject-object reality, quieted mind is being experienced by the Anandamaya Kosha. And that Anandamaya Kosha is nothing but Vijnanamaya Kosha in the folded form and enlivened by Chidabhasa. Therefore Vijnanamaya Kosha says that I am very happy and I don't know anything. So this is indirectly, it is an instrument. Anandamaya Kosha is an instrument that is recording or experiencing, not only recording, experiencing the absence of subject-object duality. So therefore, Akhanda Akara Ajnana Vritti is being experienced, and also because it's the absence of subject-object duality, therefore it is no suffering of any kind is also being experienced by the Anandamaya Kosha. And that's what here the scripture says in the Mandukya Upanishad and Tapaniya Upanishad. This has been stated there. We'll go to next sloka. So he is giving a reference to the that he is going to discuss about the Mandukya Upanishad slowly. Eki bhutas sushuptastaha Eki bhutas sushuptastaha Prajnana ghanatam gataha Prajnana ghanatam gataha Anandamaya anandabhuk Anandamaya anandabhuk Chetomaya vrittibhihi Chetomaya vrittibhihi. Together. ekibhutah sushuptastah pragyana ghanatam gatah anandamaya anandabhuk chetomaya vrittibhi. So sushuptastaha, the one who is established in the sushupti, that means in the deep sleep state, a deep sleeper. Anandamaya is considered called Anandamaya Kosha. The one who is abiding in that is called Anandamaya. Who analyzes this? The intellect is analyzing. Therefore, he has intelligence to analyze. Therefore, it is the intellect. Buddhiyitesha adhiko visesha. So it is the intellect in the human being, that's why it's called. So ahara nidra bhayamaitumancha samanameti pasugunnananam buddhihitesha adhiko visesha buddhyavihina pasubhu samanaha. The Bhartrhari Subhashita, I think. So ahara nidra bhayam maitunam echa, they are samanam etad pasubhihi naranam. These are common for both the animals and the human beings. What is that? Eating, ahara, nidra, sleeping is what we are talking about. Ahara nidra bhayam, fear, ahara nidra bhayam maitunam, the prodigy, that means production of the next generation. So anand, so ahara nidra bhayam maitunam echa, samanyam for both, is common for both the animals also do it and human beings also do it. What are you doing? I am eating. Everybody eats only. So even also animals eat. So this is common. What's the big deal? So what is that you have accomplished as a human being? So it says buddhiriteesha diko vishesha. What is special about human being is the intellect. If you are not using the intellect properly, then it's as good as animal. In fact, animals don't have it, they cannot use it. You have it, but you are not using properly. So misusing of intellect is also a problem. Animals don't have it, therefore they don't misuse it also. So there is no question of misusing it. So if they have it only, we are talking about. At least they wish they have it so that they can use it better. But we behave worse than animals because we are misusing the intellect that is given. Discriminating what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is dharma and what is adharma. That's what essentially intellect is. So buddhi tesha adhiko visesha, that is the special for a human being. And buddhya vihina pasubhi samana. If you are not using the buddhi, you are in fact worse than, he says it, you are as good as an animal, but in fact you are worse than an animal also. That's a Bhartrhari. So what is that? That buddhi itself is the discriminative faculty. So eki bhutaha sushuptaha staha. So one who has folded and one has become one. Eki bhuta means only one, means there is no subject object duality there. Anandamayaha eki bhutaha. The Anandamaya Kosha is eki bhuta, it becomes one, means no more subject object duality. One homogeneous quiet mind, quiet the intellect is called Anandamaya Kosha. Pragyana ganatam gataha. So you see, essentially Pragyana ganatam. It's an undifferentiated intellect, gataha, becomes Chetomaya vrittibihi. So thoughts of both the ignorance of the objective knowledge as well as the ignorance of the mula vidya, all avidya, along with chidabhasa, is anandabhuk, is being enjoyed by the mind, which is quietened, and we call it that quietened, unperturbed mind is called Anandamaya Kosha. Mind which is able to think is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. The mind which is able to do emotions, that's called mind, Manas. And the mind is that is operating at the senses and all that, with the senses and the karmendriyas and jnanendriyas and all that will come in. So Anandamayaha ekibhutaha pragyana ghanatam. Say pragyana ghana is here undifferentiated. Ghana is constant, a solid consciousness of the absence of the subject object duality. Therefore it's called pragyana ghanam. Undifferentiated consciousness gataha becomes, along with chetomaya vrittibihi, along with the thoughts and of the ignorance, along with the chidabhasa, anandabhuk, it becomes experiencer of the ananda. So who experiences the deep sleep state? It is the Anandamaya Kosha enlivened by the consciousness, Chidabhasa, is the experiencer of deep sleep state. What's the structure of Anandamaya Kosha? It is nothing but Vijnanamaya Kosha, completely folded with no subject-object duality. It's a folded Vijnanamaya Kosha is called Anandamaya Kosha, that experiences the bliss of the closing of subject-object duality. 69. Vijnanamaya Mukhyaihi Vijnanamaya Mukhyaihi Yaha Rupair Yukta Puradhuna Yaha Rupair Yukta Puradhuna Salaye Naikatam Prapto Salaye Naikatam Prapto Bahutundala Pishtavatu Bahutundala Pishtavatu. Here he is giving some analogy here. Vijnanamaya Mukhyaihi Yaha Rupair-yuktam Puradhuna. So Yaha, that state, that self, Pura earlier in the waking state and the dream states, says Vijnanamaya Mukhyaihi Rupaihi. It's in the form of Vijnanamaya, in the form of intellectual sheath and in that kosha form. And Yuktaha was identified as a Vijnanamaya Kosha. So what if he says this? It is same subtle body being identified and named differently depending upon the functions. So this is essentially in the Viveka Chudamani also the same subtle thought process are divided into four. One is the mind, another is the intellect, third is the chitta, memory, and fourth is ahankara. So negajyatem takkaranam manodihi aham kochit chittamiti svabuddhibihi manastu sankalpa vikalpanadibihi buddhir yadartha. Oh, forgot about it. So the one with the buddhi is a discriminative faculty, mind is nishchaya, the sankalpa vikalpam, say doubts and all that. So sankalpa vikalpanadihi manas sankalpa vikalpanadi buddhi tadartha. Not coming. So anyway, so ahamicchahankrutihi. So that which is essentially I am this is a notion is from the intellectual level. So Vijnanamaya Mukhyaihi Yaha Rupaihi Uktaha Puradhana. This is same thing called Vijnanamaya before, because it is able to discriminate. Mukhyai Rupaihi in the form of Vijnanamaya Kosha, Yuktaha was identified. Same one. And now is called Adhuna, now is called Layena, by absorption of all subject-object dualities. Ekatvam, oneness is there, undifferentiated thought, undifferentiated modification of the mind, that's called Ekatvam. Prapta is attained, and it's called Bahutundala Pishtavatu, like powder made up out of lot of grains. So we have a multi-grain powder where the powder is already mixed everything, and I cannot distinguish which grain it is from. So it is constant absence of the differentiation of any particular ingredients in that, and that's what is the Bahutundala Pishtavatu. In the same way, in that there is no differentiation of any kind, but it's there. Some powder is there, its effect is there in a subtle form. Therefore, it is an example that is given. So there is a powder, but you cannot distinguish from which grain it came, because it's all mixed there. Same way, it is constant absence of the particularities, but constant awareness. Therefore, there is no awareness of any objective knowledge, and therefore that is called Anandamaya Kosha. Like a powder made out of lot of grains, and it's indistinguishable, and it's in terms of details, and therefore it's called one unit called Anandamaya Kosha. So now he is going to discuss about this from the scripture. It says Prajnana, Ghana, and is being used by the Mandukya Upanishad. So the explanation of each word is being taken now. Prajnanani pura buddhihi Prajnanani pura buddhihi Ruttayo tha ghano bhaved Ghanatvam hima bindu nam Ganatvam himabinduna udagdesha yatha tada udagdesha deshe yatha tada. Together. Prajnanani pura buddhi vrittayotha ghano bhavi ghanatvam himabindunam udagdeshe yatha tada. So pura means before, that is in the waking stage and the dream state. Prajnanani, the knowingness is essentially that buddhi vrittayaha in the form of a thoughts. So everything is reduced to thoughts. How do I know? It says when I see, I say I know this because I am seeing. But what I am seeing is translated into form of a buddhi, into the form of a vritti in the buddhi, and that is illumined by the consciousness. There is a Chidabhasa, reflection of the Chidabhasa on the vritti that is formed, and that's how the knowledge is taking place. So before that, buddhi vrittayaha, every knowledge is through via formation of the thoughts in the mind. Without thinking, I cannot know anything. So buddhi vrittayaha, thoughts in the mind. When a thought rises, along with that, spontaneously, I know this. A subject thought also arises spontaneously, and therefore when I say this is a pot, say I know this is a pot. This is a chair, I know this is a chair. So owning thought also spontaneously rises. The subject thought also rises in the buddhi also along with the object. So buddhi vrittaya, the subject, object, both thoughts are coming in the same background, in the same platform, and that's called buddhi. And the buddhi vrittaya. Atha, now ghana, undifferentiated. So ghana is no differentiation of any thought, of this thought, that thought, chair thought, table thought, none of them is there. It's homogeneous, the non-recognized, the vritti means modification of the mind. So ghana, you see, abhavat, it becomes undifferentiated. Yatha ghana bhavat. So ghanatvam, that undifferentiatedness is yatha, just as himabindunam, the snowflakes, udak, they say, in the place where the water is, ghanatvam, oneness that is water, is tadha, in the same way. So here is example, when you have a snow is falling down onto a pond, and it's just started. So when the snowflakes are falling into the water, then what happens to the snowflakes? If it is some dust particles, it will be still there. But the snow being made up of the same material as the water, when it goes, it becomes one with the ocean. So there is undifferentiated what was there before and what is there afterwards. The water and the snow water, there is no distinctions of any kind, because the contents are the same. So therefore it becomes undistinguishable, undifferentiated in this water, in the same way that when it's folded, there is undifferentiated object subject duality that is folded completely, and that's what is called Anandamaya Kosha. So what is Ghanam? Ghanam is undifferentiated. What is undifferentiated? There is no subject, object. So objects are different, subject is only one. So objects are different. So every knowledge is, I know this, I am is the same, that what I know is different, but that oneness and the other object world knowledge is being changed. But in the case of the disbelief state, both thoughts are gone. So it's called Prajnana Ghanam. So it is constant consciousness, constant awareness, or being conscious of constant absence of the undifferentiated, the subject object absence, that's called ignorance, and that is called ajnana. And being its calm, unperturbed, there is also ananda coming in. All that are implied, and that's essentially measured by the Anandamaya Kosha. So that's called Prajnana Ghanam, is being explained why it's called Ghanam, means undifferentiated. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.